in year 3. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Love telling you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. For Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, they're just the best. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry can make that moment special forever. And gents, if you popped the question years or decades ago and you gave her that ring, and now that you've been married for a while, how about an upgrade? You could take that ring that you bought years ago, trade that diamond in for an upgrade, put toward a new diamond purchase. Why not? Lee Michaels can make it happen. If they don't have what you want, they'll make it or they'll find it. They want her to be thrilled. So many places, jewelry stores don't accept returns. Lee Michaels does. They want her to be thrilled. That's why you always get the Lee Michaels experience. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. The New Orleans Saints today added a linebacker. His name is Mike Rose. Mike Rose played for the St. Louis Battlehawks the last 2 springs in the UFL and the XFL. And the Battlehawks won their XFL division championship this year with a 7-3 record, then lost in the playoffs. Mike Rose is played at Iowa State, and actually his in the UFL, Leroy Glover, former Saint, was one of his defensive assistants there. He was one of the defensive stars of the Battlehawks this past season, but at 24 years old, 6'4", 250, he was a 2-time first-team All-Big 12 linebacker for Iowa State, and actually in the COVID year, in 2020, was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. So this is a guy who's a very productive college player, has been good at the professional level, just hasn't transitioned into the NFL level yet. And when you look at the New Orleans Saints, linebacker right now has been a little bit of a challenge for Dennis Allen's squad. DeMario Davis, we know, has been out with a hamstring injury. Pete Werner has been slowed by a shoulder injury. It's nothing that at this point Dennis Allen or anybody said is serious for the New Orleans Saints, but you need camp bodies. You need camp bodies, and you're going to, have preseason games coming up. You got to field a team. So this is maybe an opportunity for a guy, who's been a good player at the professional level, who's a really good player at the college level, to get another shot. Maybe find a way onto the practice squad for the New Orleans Saints this year. We'll see. Of course, Willie Gay was one of the big free agent acquisitions this offseason, and by all accounts from our camp reports from Ross Jackson, Willie Gay has performed very well so far in Saints training camp, so I'm excited to see those guys. But you need depth, and this is a depth piece. For what it's worth, one guy on the roster who was a UDFA a year ago was Anthony Orji. Remember, he played at Vanderbilt. And Dennis Allen has been really singing his praises so far in this camp. So it's another guy that's a little bit off the radar who seems to be elevating a bit.
He's made a lot of improvement. Yes, he's a guy that's caught my attention a little bit. He's way ahead of where he was last year. He's playing more confidently, which I think allows us to see a little bit more of the athleticism that we saw on his college tape that maybe we didn't see quite as much of last year. Part of that's probably because of some hesitancy of not knowing exactly what to do. So I like what I've seen out of him so far. I'm really excited about seeing what he can do when we get into these preseason games and see if that continues to be the trend as the lights come on.
I mean, it's something we saw a year ago. He was a 100-tackle guy in the SEC. He played on bad teams at Vanderbilt, but Anthony Orji was a really good player. It's why he was a practice squad guy and someone you want to keep around. So sometimes you try to stash these guys to see if they can keep growing and developing to eventually be a player that can make your 53-man roster. It's one of the benefits of practice squad. So we'll see how it may go, but another one worth keeping an eye on. Like if I had to bet everything, I wouldn't think that Mike Rose is going to make the New Orleans Saints team. It feels like this is a camp body when you've got some injuries at linebacker, so he's coming in. But it's a guy who was a really good defender in the UFL this spring, was a 2-time first-team All-Big 12, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year there when he played for the Cyclones, and we'll see if he might be able to make some waves here in Saints camp with the preseason game starting this week. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Of course, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you get to the website, sunnyquip.com. They're raffling off that John Deere Gator. It's an LSU John Deere Gator, so it's got LSU logos all over it. All the proceeds from the raffle are benefiting 4-H and FFA, and they're going to be announcing the winner for the Vanderbilt game coming up this year in Tiger Stadium. So if you haven't done it yet, go buy your raffle tickets at sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break, final break of hour number 1. We'll come back. Muse will have the Olympic update. And an international hip-hop star has bought the naming rights to a college football stadium. And it's kind of awesome. We'll talk about it. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, I love telling you about the Renaissance Hotel, the Watermark Hotel. 2 great hotel properties in Baton Rouge, Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Hey, if you're thinking of hosting an event this fall, call my friend Allison Crump over at the Renaissance Hotel. We were there a week ago for our LouisianaSports.net launch party. And one of the things that our staff here at Guarantee Media said afterwards was they couldn't believe how easy it was, how accommodating the Renaissance was. Like 2 phone calls and boom, everything was done. They have so much space with their ballrooms, the grand ballroom that can host up to 500 people, their meeting rooms that can host a dozen people if that's what you're looking for, and quite literally anything in between for any purpose. I mean, LSU football stays there the Friday night before football games, and they completely manipulate all the space for position group meetings, and it's perfect. It's the Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet. Check them out at the Renaissance Hotel.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Glad you're here. Big Fave in about 25 minutes. I want to talk to Big Fave about the defensive line. And look, candidly, Big Fave hadn't been out at practice, but mostly what I want to ask him is, as a guy who was a highly regarded guy, highly recruited guy, played defensive tackle on a national championship team, been through those two-a-days then, but been through fall camp. like when I go watch practice and the drills that I tell you all about, what should I actually be looking for? Like, what should I actually make of the things that I've been able to see? So we'll talk about that with Big Fave coming up here shortly. All right, we're winding down Olympic coverage. I think the Olympics end like in a couple days. Closing ceremonies day tomorrow.
This is day 11 of 16.
Oh, 5 more days?
Yeah, 5 more days. Yeah.
That's Sunday? What day would that be? Let's see. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay,
Sunday.
closing ceremony Sunday. Oh, look, the U.S. Oh, we are whipping Brazil's behind in basketball.
Go, USA!
Take that, Brazil. It's 94-70 in the third quarter.
It's been a really...
Brazil kind of looks like Oregon.
A little bit, don't they, out there? Yeah. Yeah. It's been a really good day.
And the Supersonics.
Really good day for Team USA.
Let's go. Go, USA. Tell me more.
Go, USA!
Yeah,
Tell me more.
Well, we're just not even going to bury the lead here, Matt. The United States has passed China in the gold medal count. 24-22 currently. 86.
Take that, you commies!
86.
Isn't China communist?
Very,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
very.
Take that,
yes,
you
very,
commies!
very communist. 86 total medals, 24 of those gold. Late last night, Caroline Marks picked up a gold medal for the United States in surfing. Only the second ever gold in surfing for the United States.
The ancient Greeks are awed by her prowess
At surfing.
And that surfing is an Olympic sport now.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Out in Tahiti, not even in France, in French Polynesia.
Would you rather be in Tahiti
Oh
or
my
France?
God, yes. Tahiti, are you kidding? Tahiti over
know.
Paris? Give me the island, man. Give me the island.
I've never been to either. I'd kind of like to see Paris.
Yeah, but
cool.
island, like crystal clear blue water.
You know where else they have
palm
crystal
trees.
clear blue water and palm trees? 38.
Right. It's true, they do. But somehow I think Tahiti's got better water than the Emerald Coast.
I can go beach anywhere. I can't Eiffel Tower and French food anywhere.
It's overrated. Cole Hawker.
Have you ever been there?
No.
But you can't say it's overrated if you've
France
never
is just
been.
overrated.
You can't say it's overrated if you've never been.
Well, I just did. Cole Hawker scored
You
an
can
upset.
also say you're going to fly out of this building tonight, but that doesn't make it reality, Muse.
Yeah. Got big news here. Cole Hawker, huge upset. Hawker. This is a huge upset in the men's 1,500 meters. Takes the gold.
Okay.
Wasn't even supposed to really be on the podium. Takes the gold, does Cole Hawker. Not to be outdone, his teammate, Yared Nagis, takes the bronze in the 1,500 meters for the men. So that's a double medal for the United States there.
We're winning distance runners.
Go,
Distance
USA!
medals.
We are.
This is awesome.
In what was probably one of the most predictable results of the United States team efforts here in the Olympics, Gabby Thomas took the gold in the women's 200 meters.
Okay, well, I didn't know that was predictable.
Yeah.
But I saw her last night. She's adorable.
She is.
I think she is so sweet. Saw her interview post-race. And I was like, you know what? I wish you could take a little of that energy, ball it up, and sell it, because the world needs more of that.
They do.
I like her a lot.
She's
so
awesome.
She's the best. I didn't know this.
Women's 200 meters there, takes the gold. She also has a degree from Harvard
really?
in nuclear biology or something like that. Neurobiology, excuse me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, a master's degree in, healthcare. Like you said, she's adorable. She's a gold medalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just all need more Gabby Thomas. Not to be outdone, her teammate, Brittany Brown, takes bronze in a photo finish in that race. So another double medal for the United States in the women's 200 meters.
Let's go. Go, USA!
Go, USA!
You like the hammer throw?
Did we win a medal in it?
Won silver. That was a net.
I'm here for it.
Ichikunwoke wins the silver medal in the women's hammer throw.
Go get it in
First
net.
American ever to win in that. First American woman, I should say. Amit Allure, gold medal in the women's wrestling, 68 kilogram.
You have to go kilograms because you can't go pounds.
It's true. Got to. We're over there. I mean, we're on the metrics. We're not.
I would say because it's women's. And women don't want to know their weight.
Well, no.
Can you convert that? Would you say 68 kilograms?
68, yeah.
Can you convert that to pounds?
I mean, I can.
No, I mean, do you know it off the top of your head? That's what I meant. That's my point.
No.
I'd be like, that's like 136 pounds.
149.
149.
149.9.
There you go. Now we all know your weight, Annette, but you want a medal. Annette?
Amit.
Well, you want a medal, so congrats. That's
Exactly.
awesome. You know what? That weight's heavier if you're wearing the medal around your neck.
It's true. It's very true. The U.S. women's national team beat Germany 1-0. They advanced to the gold medal match. Opponent to be determined. The U.S. women's volleyball team routed Poland in straight sets 3-0. They advanced to the semifinals.
Love it.
Back to wrestling. Sarah Hildebrandt advances to the women's wrestling 50 kilogram gold medal match. And as you said, the basketball team, 98-71 right now over Brazil. Dominating. 86 medals, 24 gold for the United States. That's your Olympic update.
And we ain't done. Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. You want to weigh all them gold medals, do you, Muse?
I do,
Michelli can get you a scale and calibrate that scale for you. You want to weigh in the metric system with a wrestler with a medal and all whatnot? Michelli can do that for you as well. Michelli.com. Check him out online. Michelli, Michelli.com. More than 75 years, Michelli Weighing and Measurement. You weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. More than 30 offices across a dozen different states. They're just the best. Check them out. Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Saints are going to play their first preseason game on Saturday. They released an unofficial depth chart. Want to dive into that? Big Fave's coming up in 20 minutes. Don't you move.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Saturday, we were driving to New Orleans. In-laws were staying with Drew. Weather was really bad while we were making the drive. Called home. We had lost power at the house. But no worries, because as soon as the power went out, our Generac automatic home standby generator powered on. There's literally not a soul listening to me right now who, if I asked you the question, would you like an automatic home standby generator? Not a single one of you would say, no, I'm good. Literally everyone would want a Generac automatic home standby generator. So we have two questions. Number one, can you afford it? Number two, who do you call? Well, the can you afford it is with Optimize, get $600 for a down payment. They have a financing option to meet any budget. And then who do you call? Well, you call Optimize because they are Louisiana's #1 Generac dealer. And they service the entire 1012 corridor from Lake Charles to Slidell. And the customer service is exemplary. Check them out. GeneratorPeople.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, Our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Kevin Durant, the new career scoring leader for all time for Olympic scoring for Team USA. He achieved that with his basket with 3 minutes left in the third quarter of the quarterfinals game against Brazil. 489 total points for KD. The Americans have a 98-71 lead, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The U.S. women's soccer team defeated Germany 1-0 and is on to the gold medal match. The 49ers willing to listen to trade offers for receiver Brandon Aiyuk. They've given him permission to negotiate a contract with other teams. Browns and Patriots have contacted the Niners about him. The Steelers today re-engaged San Francisco in trade talks. The possibility that the 49ers could trade Aiyuk is a little surprising to ESPN NFL analyst Dominique Foxworth.
I know if I had a team that I knew was this close to winning a Super Bowl, which the 49ers were, I think I would pay whatever it takes to keep that team together. So it does suggest that the 49ers might be in trouble going forward because there's no reason to believe that the receivers that they drafted can step in for Brandon Aiyuk.
For a deal, Aiyuk must agree to a contract with another team, and the Niners have to be comfortable with trade compensation.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, the Commanders finally have QB1, but how soon will Jaden Daniels lead them to success? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Marlon Favorite in about 15 minutes. We'll talk some LSU defensive line. Tigers had practice number 5 today. Media got to watch about an hour outdoors. We spoke with Brian Kelly afterwards. And it was it was a day that continues to me to reinforce the defensive improvement. Again, I'm not selling you bill of goods that LSU's defense is on its way to being one of the top defenses in college football. But what I'm telling you is, whereas a season ago, there were so many clear and obvious deficiencies which manifest on Saturdays, that gap is closing. Now, part of that undeniably is the offense isn't going to be what it was a year ago, but it's also undeniable whenever you see a freshman like P.J. Woodland running step for step with Kyron Lacey down the right sideline, pinning him against the sideline, making a play on the ball and forcing an incompletion. That's a great play. That is an objectively great play from a freshman against a talented receiver that's going to be an all-conference caliber type player this year. And you're seeing a lot of that. So we'll talk about that with Big Fave again coming up here in less than 15 minutes from right now. Appreciate you for being here. You can always email us, tweet us, text us if you want to get involved. You can text 225-396-4400. 396-4400. Lots of ways to get involved in the show. Saints on Saturday will play their first preseason game. And they'll play it in Arizona. And in advance of that, the Saints released an unofficial depth chart on Tuesday. There are a few notable items on the depth chart. I think, number one, the most notable thing is backup quarterback. Because we followed the Haener-Rattler thing, who's it going to be? And as of today, Derek Carr, the starter, Jake Haener listed as the backup, and then Spencer Rattler listed as the number 3. Taysom Hill also listed on the quarterback line. I guess that would be sort of in an emergency role. But Rattler the 2 behind Haener the 3. And maybe that's just a matter of experience. Haener having another year in the offense, having gone through this a year ago. But as of now, Jake Haener listed ahead of Spencer Rattler. The other thing when I was looking at the offense that really jumped off the page to me was when I was looking at the guard spot. And Lucas Patrick is now listed as the first team left guard ahead of Nick Saldiveri. Now, you could say that's because of injury, but there are players on this depth chart that do have an injury designation. But it feels like Lucas Patrick, the veteran who, when the Saints signed him, I was very excited about that signing because of how much he was praised by coaches and teammates in Green Bay and Chicago as a glue guy, his versatility. He's the kind of guy that isn't going to be an all-pro caliber player, but is a really good, versatile starting player in the NFL. He's like what Will Clapp was. He's like what a guy like James Hurst was. Senio Kelemete was another one. I'm thinking of these guys that have been versatile offensive linemen for the Saints over the years that have been not star caliber players, but starters and versatile players that could fill multiple gaps. Lucas Patrick has been that, and he's now listed as the starter at left guard for the New Orleans Saints. Maybe on the defensive side, if there's one interesting piece, you'd look at right defensive end. Of course, Cam Jordan listed as the starter at left defensive end. But right defensive end, Carl Granderson or Chase Young. The or designation there is interesting with the defensive ends. Listen, the Saints paid Carl Granderson a lot of money last year, and he was there by far their most productive pass rusher a year ago. You bring in Chase Young, I almost have half a mind to say, could Chase Young challenge Cam Jordan's spot? Because if you're really looking for your best 2 edge rushers, it's probably Granderson and a healthy Chase Young. Remember, Cam Jordan, as much as we love him, as great a career, which I believe ultimately is a Hall of Fame career that he's had, he's coming off his least productive season of his career since his rookie year, where he had 2 sacks. It may be something where the reps that get taken actually are Cam Jordan's instead of Carl Granderson's. I mean, that day is going to come inevitably, and maybe we start to see that. But again, on that first depth chart released by the New Orleans Saints, those were a couple of things that stood out. Now, Dennis Allen also talked about the 2 linebackers in Demario Davis and Willie Gay, both guys that are battling, or I guess Demario Davis battling a hamstring right now. Willie Gay has really been one of the guys who's been the talk of camp on the defensive side of the ball. And here was DA on Willie Gay and how he's lived up to the expectations when they signed him.
Yeah, I think so. From this standpoint, a big, physical, athletic linebacker that I know is going to come in and practice hard, work hard, compete, do all of those things. And so now I think the biggest thing for Willie is, continuing to get into the playbook and continuing to study and continuing to understand all the things that we're asking him to do. I think he's taken some steps forward from where he was in the spring. I think there's still some steps to be taken there. But I do think that each day he continues to get a little bit more comfortable and play a little bit better.
We'll get to see Willie Gay and some of those other linebackers. Mike Rose, who the Saints signed on Tuesday, was a standout player in the UFL, the Spring League. We'll start to see how that starts to manifest with the Saints playing Arizona this Saturday in their first preseason game. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. As a matter of fact, I was literally in that last break, I got a text from a buddy who said, hey, I have a coworker needs a roof. Can you all at Parish help him out? Absolutely. You can always feel free to email me or text me or tweet me or message me anywhere if you'd like me to help facilitate with our partners. More than happy to. Trust me, you don't want me on your roof, but I'm more than happy to help facilitate with our amazing staff that can take care of any roof issue that you may have. It's Parish Construction and Roofing. You can start at the website, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. We also introduced our maintenance program. If you want to learn more, you can go to the website, scroll down, $25 a month. $25 a month. This is going to get you drone footage for your inspections twice a year. One of the amazing parts about this is if you do end up having roof damage and having to file a claim, you now have dated drone photos and an inspection report that can tell you what your roof was prior to the weather event and what it is now. It's only going to assist you in filing your claim. It'll help extend the life of your roof with cleaning and debris removal. You can learn more at the website at parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Commercial or residential, repairs or replacement, we do it all at Parish Construction and Roofing, servicing the entire state of Louisiana. So visit parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, that's parishbuilt.com. Pitbull has bought the naming rights to FIU's football stadium. Now, Pitbull's from Miami, so he goes by Mr. 305. I don't know, is this real? Like, I know that the naming thing is real. Pitbull has announced it, and FIU has announced it. But at midfield, they put Mr. 305 at midfield. It's going to be called Pitbull Stadium. Like, is that part real? The Mr. 305 at midfield?
I don't know. This is the first I'm seeing of that. So I mean, I like it because they have like the Panther head as the O, as like the 0.
So FIU released a short graphic announcing that that Pitbull has bought the naming rights to this. Pitbull is, by the way, I don't know. I know Don't Stop the Party. That's the only one I know. Is that this? What is this?
I think it is. This is Time of Your Lives. So maybe
I don't know this one. Yeah, I don't know this one.
You don't know this one?
I feel like if I ever hear a Pitbull song, I know I'm listening to Pitbull, but I can't say definitively I know anything other than, you know the one I'm talking about, right?
Well, you have to
Don't Stop the Party.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. This is not that.
Okay, that's the only one I know.
This is not that.
This is brilliant by Pitbull because he's getting an insane amount. He's going to get a tax write-off. He's getting an insane amount of pub outside of just FIU games because everybody's going to talk about this. It's a cool flex being from Miami, right? And he goes as Mr. 305, and FIU's down in Miami. He's not going to get the naming rights to the University of Miami. I wouldn't assume anyway. What if
that would actually be awesome?
It would be good. Who's the what if Boosie bought the? Isn't Boosie Badass from Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
What if he bought the naming rights to Tiger Stadium?
I'm here for it.
No, you're not.
Why not?
No, you're not.
Boosie Badass Stadium?
Yeah. Muse. Listen,
sick.
The bit is one thing. If LSU announced that they were changing the name of Tiger Stadium to Boosie Badass Stadium, you'd want to burn it down. You know you would. All right? You're a traditionalist like I am when it comes to uniforms and things like that. You know you don't want it called Boosie Badass Stadium.
True, but I also just wouldn't call it that.
All I needed.
I would still call it Tiger Stadium. I still call it Twitter. I mean,
True's all I needed. The bit is the bit, Muse. But there are some lines you don't cross. All right? But my contention has always been, if you have no history or tradition, then I don't care what you do. Like Oregon having 1 million uniforms, I don't care because they're Oregon. Like, what have you ever done?
That kind of became their thing.
That became their thing.
That became their thing.
I don't care. If Tulsa wants to have 37 uniform combinations, don't care. LSU, when you have something clean and traditional and awesome, I don't want white on white on white. I don't want the ugly purple helmets in white and white. I don't want yellow and white and white. Like, I don't want all... Wear the thing you do awesome. USC, you got a great uniform. Wear your uniform. FIU, you want to call your stadium Mr. 305 and change your uniform every game? Have at it. Make that your thing. This is the most we've ever talked about FIU.
Yeah, well, I thought you were going to say Pitbull, but I'm kind of both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't Stop the Party. Yeah, that's him.
I know that one.
You know?
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. All his songs sound the same, for being honest, but it's fine.
I don't know all of his songs.
If you've heard one, you've heard them all. That's mainly the point in that.
I don't know. The one you just played doesn't sound anything like, yeah. Don't Stop the Party. That sounded nothing like it.
It's club music, though.
But that sounded nothing like the one I've been singing. And you said they all sound the same. So if you've heard one, you've heard them all. I disagree because the two that we've mentioned, now the one you played and the one I mentioned, are very, very different.
The premise, though.
I'm going to ask a real rapper. I'm asking Big Fave next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Hey, download the Darren James app if you haven't done it yet. Maybe you're thinking about selling your home or buying a new home. You need Darren James, of course. He's the #1 realtor in the state of Louisiana. Literally no realtor in our state sold more homes last year than Darren James. #1 in Louisiana, #13 in the country on the Real Trends list of the top 1% of realtors in America. And it's now easier than ever to communicate with Darren with the new Darren James mobile app. So go to your app store, Google Play, download the Darren James app today. You want to read great reviews, Darren's raving fans, you can do it. You want great information about the market, the current market in Baton Rouge and around Louisiana, you'll get it right there at the Darren James app. Bottom line is, if you need to sell your home, do what more Louisianians do than any other. They call Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and
Hello. Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gonna need somebody. Hello.
After further review powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
It couldn't have worked out any better that we just got done talking about Pitbull buying the naming rights to FIU Stadium, Muse making the outrageous accusation that all of Pitbull's songs sound exactly the same, and now we get to welcome aboard Big Fave. He is a published artist. I mean, dude's got albums, and can you still have Hello Somebody going? He's got Hello Somebody. There it is. It's Big Fave, man. So Big Fave's going to settle this for us. Big Fave, what up?
Hello, somebody. What's up, Maddie, baby?
Hey, man, do all of Pitbull's songs sound the same?
They do have the same tempo. You can expect the same rhythm in all of them. The lyrics may change, but the tempo stays the same.
What's the difference between the one that goes, hey, yeah, yeah, la, 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 don't stop the party, and the one Muso played just a bit ago that was really small, that was really slow? That ain't the same tempo, Big Fave.
It's slow Now Pitbull can switch it up. Now he is the reason he's one of the top artists in the world.
So they're not all the same.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, you usually, when you think Pitbull, you think hype club songs, especially like Miami. Hey, let's get it going. But, I mean, with his artistry and the way he can flip it up, he'll slow it up. But most of his songs are upbeat.
You know,
kind of like Flow Rider.
I
They kind of got that little.
I think Muse did Pitbull a great injustice then. But what song did you play, Muse?
It was Time of Your Life.
Time of Your Life. Do you know that one, Big Fave?
Yeah. The time of your life. It came out like early 2010s, huh?
Something like that.
I don't know, man. It was
Neo's
slow.
in it. It's him and Neo.
Neo was
it's
in
him
it?
and Neo, yeah.
It was slow. Anyway, that's not why we had you here, That's not why we had you here, Big Fave, but it was good timing to ask it anyway. Hey, I want to talk about this LSU defense, man. So far, 5 days of practice. It's pretty clear they're improving. We're seeing them make plays. But Brian Kelly said today they still have a long way to go to be considered a good defense. Through 5 practices, what can you realistically decipher from this team?
Well, it's not too much because you have young guys on the team like Dominic McKinley, but then you have guys like Jacoby and Guillory, who's been on the team for a while, but it's a new system. So I wouldn't expect in 5 practices, and I hadn't had a chance to make it out there yet, but I've been checking out some of the videos. I know they've been posting up on YouTube, and you can tell the groups who are ready to roll. Offensive line, ready to roll. Receiving core, ready to roll. The D-line has so much potential because I really trust those 2 guys coaching. Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples. Those are 2 good coaches I know personally going to get it done. But it just takes time for guys to get acclimated to the new system. So that's probably why we don't see a lot of success, particularly in the one-on-one drills, right? And going through those things. But I think once the season gets started and Coach Bo gets the guys he feels ready to go, we'll see a more improved D-line.
How hard is it, Big Fave, for those defensive linemen? You said like to learn a new system or new expectations. Like how hard is it for them to transition there with a new defensive line coach, a new voice?
Well, I think that's a good question, Matt, because it really depends on the player. So, like, give you an example. When Coach Pelini, the first time Coach Pelini came to LSU, it was easy to adjust for guys like me and Glenn because we came from a natural 4-3 system. Whereas when we had guys like Al Woods come in, it took us a little minute to get him acclimated to this style of play because he was just a big guy in the middle, molding guys in high school. So for him, it took him a little bit of time to get his technique down pat and know how to take on those combination blocks when you're getting a double team or combo blocked up in the middle. So it really depends on the player more than anything else.
Big Fave's with us. You mentioned also like not having success in some of those one-on-ones. Big Fave, what's interesting is so like I've gone and watched a lot of those drills, right? Pass rush drills and all that. And I do my best to chart, wins and losses and push stuff like that. And if I were to give you a big takeaway, it's that the first unit, like LSU's first offensive line, like they're having a ton of success. But when you get to the 2s and the 3s, it's more of a 50-50 O-line. It's more of a fair fight O-line, D-line. What do you make of that?
I mean, that's fair, Matt, because you look at Coach Brad Davis having these guys since babies. Like, I can remember going to this is the senior year of Bo Borderline and Will Campbell and all those guys who were looking at over the summer when they were doing one-on-ones. I saw what Coach Brad Davis fell in love with Will Campbell. Right? And so he had times to mold that top-tier offensive lineman. 3 years these guys has been starters in this system. So that group's going to look good. I know they're going to look better than, maybe the first unit to a certain extent the second unit. Where when you get to the back of the deal, like my little cousin Tyree Adams from Marrero, he'll West Bank. Hello, somebody. Right. He looks good now, but he's going to get even better once he's year 3 in the system. He's just, fresh. Went through a year of this, now year 2. Let's see what you got, big timer. So that's kind of where, it's much more success, a little more maturity on the offensive line. The deal removed from the Ole Miss game last year. So that was very memory.
Hey, wait, hang one second. Big Fave, hang on one second. Your phone's breaking up. Pot him down there, Muse. See if you can get him back there. We'll see if we can get Big Fave back. I want to ask him about Tyree Adams, too. I didn't realize that was his cousin. Because Tyree Adams is playing really well at left tackle. I want to get Big Fave's thoughts. Hey, let me remind you real quickly while we reconnect. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all over at Relief Windows. Oh, yeah, they do indoor shutters as well. Hey, I want to remind you about their impact-resistant windows. Their Cat 5 storm impact-resistant windows approved for Miami-Dade County. So think about adding an extra layer of security to your home. It's the windows you've seen in the commercials over the year with Brandon Holly with a crowbar beating the crap out of a window and he can't break through it. So think about an extra layer of security not only from intruders but from weather, dangerous weather, flying objects, things like that. But also when they're custom made for your home, it makes your home more energy efficient. So of course it's going to reduce air leaks, make your home more energy efficient. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Not just in Baton Rouge. So go anywhere all over the Gulf South. I mean, east to Houston and Beaumont, or I should say to, of course, to Beaumont. They've done jobs all the way in Atlanta, up in Memphis. So they can help you out. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, we got Big Fave back. Hey, Big Fave, sorry, your phone was breaking up there, man. I wanted to follow up because you mentioned Tyree Adams. I didn't realize that was your cousin. Big Fave, he's running at number 2 left tackle right now behind Will Campbell. He had a dominant win today in a pass rush against Deshaun Womack. I mean, he is really looking the part. Like, what can you tell us about Tyree?
Well, I found out he was my cousin last year from my dad. His mom is Boston. I didn't even know he was my cousin.
That's
legit,
so good,
I went to the practice. He was like, "Man, you know you're my cousin, huh?" I like, "Well, yeah, my dad just told me cousin Barbara said what's up." So but incidentally speaking, I checked him out in high school. Big, aggressive. For a tall guy, he's strong. Kind of puts me in the mindset of Caden Jones in Florida. He was at De La Salle. Those guys kind of came off that same trio of linemen out of New Orleans. Aggressive, and he wants it. I mean, he's from the West Bank of New Orleans, bro. You don't want to come to the bottom, but if you got an opportunity, that old line getting looked at, man. So if you balling out and you next up, man, you're going to have a lot of potential on the next level. So I am excited to what his future looks like.
Big Fave, you mentioned, guys switching to a new defense. One of those guys is Gio Paez, right? So he comes in from Wisconsin. He was playing end in a 3-4 at Wisconsin. But when we talked to him here on the show, he said his goal, it's time for him to not just eat up blocks. He wants to be a playmaker. So he wants to move inside. What's realistic there for a guy that's been a 3-4 end his whole career, now in his 6th season of college football, kicking inside?
It could be a bit of an adjustment for him, Matt, especially coming from that system. Just to go to the NFL for a second, when Cam Jordan came down here to this 4-3 from a 3-4 where he was that power D in the head up 4, that first year was an adjustment for him. He didn't really get a lot of sacks. He was getting, adjusted to the league. I kind of look at that when you talk about Gio. Coming from, because what you're switching is, in the 3-4 system, for guys like him, they can't go wrong. The linebacker's supposed to make you right every time. You can be wrong. It's a 2-gap. You can win front side gap, backside gap. Whereas when you switch to a 4-3, you have to win in your gap. So for a guy like Gio, you put him at the 3-tech, or you put him at the shade or 2-2G technique, and he has to get adjusted to winning in the gap as opposed to eating up the blocks. And I think, just thinking about that switch up for him, I don't think it'll be horrible for him, especially if they use him at the nose like the shade.
What about JVR Suggs, Big Fave? A guy coming from Grand Valley State in Division II, just a completely different level of football. I mean, Big Fave, you walk out there, you stand 10 feet from him and you realize that's a big dude, man. I mean, enormous arms. You can tell he's got big time upper body strength. But going from Grand Valley to the SEC is just a completely different universe. What do you think about that?
Well, you remember when this was a while back. We had got Claude Roden from JUCO.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, when you come from a different type of system, even from you're talking from Grand Valley to the SEC. It really depends on the player, and I think it's something in the scouting department, the guys scouting and recruiting, and even with Coach Bo Davis, something he liked about him on film that feel like he could fit in his system. So I'm interested in seeing how he's going to work into that rotation. Because this is how I look at it, Matt. What made us successful at LSU, I'm going to go to some fun years, 06, 07.
Mm-hmm.
We had rotation. Man, I trained with Drake Nevis down here. We trained we trained a couple of NFL guys a couple of weeks ago, but we trained the high school kids here. And Drake was talking to me about his freshman year. He had to play a major role. Glenn was hurt. Some games I was hurt. So having that rotation of reliable guys matter, and that's probably what Coach Bo saw in our guy from Grand Valley.
Mm. You know, Big Fav, when you're saying that, I think of it this way, man. If I spell it out, so you got Tank, Jacoby and Guillory, you got Paez, you got Suggs, you got Jalen Lee, they got Washington, Sean Washington. Like, that's not even count. That's just at tackles. That's not even counting a guy like Dom McKinley on the inside and some of the other young guys. I mean, you got probably a 5-man rotation there of interior defensive tackles that they like. But, Big Fav, I don't know if any of the – I mean, you just mentioned Drake Nevis and Claude Roten. I mean, you're mentioning All-Americans, Big Fav. Like, I don't think LSU's got All-Americans on this defensive line. So when you don't have that ability, but you got bodies and numbers, like, what's the gap? Like, how good can you be when you got numbers, but you don't have the guys you just mentioned?
Man, you got to hope that, in the words of Jay-Z's album, Blueprint 3, every day a star is born. So who's going to be that next guy? I mean, you're at the practices now, so you're kind of taking a look at the one-on-one. I mean, it's night and day with our first unit offensive line and let's say the second group of D linemen. So who's going to be willing to take the coaches and staff their weaknesses? That's going to be the tough part, Matt, to be quite honest with you, because we don't have no names outside of, let's go across the line, why don't we? Savion Jones, he has playing time.
Yeah.
Tank, he has playing time. Gio, he has playing time, but he's coming from a totally different conference. So for us, man, this USC game is so important. It's so important because, and even incidentally speaking, the game after Nicholls State, because you got to see what young talent you got in that game. But at this USC game, USC going to run that ball right up the middle. It ain't no secret. Forget all the West Coast offense stuff. They're trying to see what they got at quarterback. No more Caleb Williams. They're going to look at the tape from last year, see, okay, yeah, they made a couple moves. Let's see what this LSU D-line is about. And that's where I take it back to 06, Auburn game. 7-6, we lost that game, but some D lineman was born on that day. So who's going to step up and be the next guy I mentioned? We know Tank has potential. We think he's going to be good. A lot of us was hoping Mason Smith would have came back. He didn't. He went pro. Who's going to be that next guy?
He's Marlon Favorite on Twitter at Big Fave 504. Of course, y'all going to hear him on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. Big Fave, what else you got in the hopper, man? What else is going on?
Well, of course, we in September we're coming back 5 days a week with the show. Right now, we've been doing Monday shows for Inside the Trenches on the weekend. But man, I just dropped a new album called Lover.
Let's go. Where can we get it, man?
Yeah, y'all can go on Apple Music. Type in Big Fave Lover. I got Cupid Sheffo.
Yeah.
He's on my album.
I love
hey,
it,
man, look, this my goal, bro. Me and Flaugier got to do a song together.
I love it, dude.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm just excited. Back with LSU Sports Radio. Can't wait to see the new studio and talk about Brandon Taylor's tight shirts and thick arm, Popeye arms. I'm ready. Oh, Hunter Palmer. Hey, Hunter Palmer, stand up and fight. Hey, Hunter Palmer. Hunter Palmer, baby.
Oh, my God. Big Fave, you never disappoint, man. It's always great to chat. We appreciate a couple of minutes, man. We'll see you soon, all right?
Take care, my brother. See you.
Be well. The one and only, the incomparable Big Fave. Hello, somebody. Y'all go get his new album on Apple Music. Just type in Big Fave Lover. That's his new album there on Apple Music. All right, it's after further review. We're not going to break. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Hey, look, if you're heading into this weekend, I know it's only Tuesday, but if you're thinking about the weekend already, and you need to stock up for that Saints game watch party, you need to make your groceries, you can always do it over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And maybe also a good time to remind you about back to school. Hard to believe, man. Some of the kiddos are back in school tomorrow, this week. Oh, my God. If you need everything for back to school, whether it's putting a healthy meal in your kiddos' lunchbox when you set them off to school, or you need the school supplies, you can get them at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And look, man, no matter where you are, we do the best of 225. How about this? Point View came out with their People's Choice 2024 for a Point of View. Rouse's Market, best grocery store. I mean, you continue to say it over and over again. You walk into Rouse's, you'll understand why. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
We ride back and forth till we run out of light. Take it to the barn, put it up.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
104.5 ESPN and Citizens Bank and Trust are looking for the ultimate tailgate. Snap a pic of your setup and upload it to 1045ESPN.com for a chance to win a $500 Rouse's gift card. Our judges will select a winner on August 29th. It's the ultimate tailgate giveaway from Rouse's Markets, Citizens Bank and Trust, and 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, glad you're hanging out with us here. Of course, we always appreciate our friends at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Even though it's almost fall on the calendar, your grass cutting days are far from over. You can go get that John Deere zero-turn mower from Sunshine, sunequip.com. Giant news in the NFL on Tuesday is that the 49ers are, in fact, open to trading Brandon Aiyuk. I bring that up because every time a player like this is available, I always get asked, hey, should the Saints make a trade for Brandon Aiyuk? And you know my feeling on this. If you're not at least asking the question and vetting every possibility to make your team better, no matter how unlikely, you're not doing your job. So, yes, the Saints should vet a trade for Brandon Aiyuk. And I want to talk about that a little bit here. First, here was Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network earlier today. He was asked, is a deal close for Brandon Aiyuk? Here was the latest.
I continue to say that I feel like we're getting closer to a resolution. We are just not there yet. You saw the reports that came out about the Browns and the Patriots having the framework of a deal in place with the 49ers. You also heard some talk that the Steelers were out of this one. In talking to sources all over this one, I would say that my feeling is nobody is out of this. I don't know that there's a lead dog right now. Ian, you called it fluid. I continue to say that, yes, it is extremely fluid. At some point, somebody's got to blink here. And Aiyuk seems to have a pecking order for where he wants to wind up. He's not a free agent. He's under contract, but he's using as much leverage as he could possibly create with this hold-in that he's got going.
So a couple of things, and maybe most importantly there from Garafolo, is nobody's out of the running. We've seen that, the Browns, Patriots had the framework of a deal. There was talk of the Steelers, but nothing is imminent with this. And yes, I do think that the Saints should be exploring this possibility. Objectively, you are bad at wide receiver. This is not debatable. Chris Olave is a stud. We're all very high on what Rashid Shaheed is becoming. But after that, what is next? A.T. Perry, who Dennis Allen said a week ago might struggle to make the team? Rookie Bub Means? What is there? Are we fired about Cedric Wilson? I mean, if you are actually in win now mode, then you have to be considering options to make you better. Now, this is not my preference, to be very clear. I don't think there's any way at all the Saints should inquire about Brandon Aiyuk. Because in my opinion, the New Orleans Saints aren't close to winning anything. So to get Aiyuk, you're going to have to give up assets and extend him, paying him $25, $30 million per year. Let me not get ahead of myself, okay? So for a lot of reasons, my opinion is pursuing Brandon Aiyuk would be stupid. But, yeah, you'd have to consider it. Number one, keep in mind, you're going to have to pay Chris Olave. And maybe it's after this season. You do have a fifth-year option, so you could wait another year on Olave, but if you wait another year and he keeps playing this way, his price keeps going up, 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 up. So, are you going to have two receivers on your roster making $25 to $30 million a year? I don't know how you stomach that. One of the other parts of this is San Francisco has said they want not only draft compensation for Aiyuk, they're going to want player compensation. San Francisco is trying to win a Super Bowl this year, and they actually can do it, unlike the Saints. So if they give up Brandon Aiyuk, they need somebody who's going to make them continue to be competitive. If you're the Saints, well, the options are the two guys I just mentioned, Olave and Shaheed. Are you going to trade one of those guys to San Francisco for Brandon Aiyuk plus picks and pay Brandon Aiyuk? I don't think you're trading Chris Olave, because if you have Aiyuk and Shaheed or Olave and Shaheed, are you really any better one way or the other? The real thing would be, would you trade Rashid Shaheed to San Francisco for Brandon Aiyuk, and then you'd have Olave Aiyuk? Now, that would be really appealing. But are you willing to give up on an undrafted free agent, not rookie, but entering year 3, that you still have the opportunity to sign as a restricted free agent for next season, and you could still get relatively on the cheap as opposed to what you'd be getting with Brandon Aiyuk? And then you're also talking about giving up draft capital. Some of what I've heard is mentioned is a couple of second-round picks. Would you really give up Rashid Shaheed and 2 2s for Brandon Aiyuk and have to pay him $100 million? It's almost unfathomable to think of it that way. And keep in mind as well, the projected 2025 salary cap with where the Saints are on their balance sheet right now, they are roughly $50 million over the projected cap for 2025. Aiyuk would be affordable this year. He's got a $14 million cap number. You can make that work. But do you really want to take on Aiyuk where you'd have to pay him at that rate moving forward and add that onto a salary cap that is already some $50 million in the red? Like, none of it makes sense. And again, I've had a lot of people ask, hey, do you think this is something the Saints should consider? And you are right to ask the question. And the Saints should be right to consider, to make a call, to see, hey, what would it take? Is there a deal to be done? Like, make them tell you no. Like, ask the question. Shoot your shot. But I don't know realistically how, with what San Francisco reportedly wants for Brandon Aiyuk and what you'd have to pay him in your cap situation, that doesn't make you a championship caliber team. It could certainly assist Derek Carr. If you had Olave and Aiyuk, that would be a great 1-2 punch, maybe as good as any 1-2 punch in the NFL, arguably. But what it would cost you, what it would do to your cap, your inability to balance your roster, and giving up draft assets. I mean, if you were in a position where you were a perennial contender and felt like you were a piece away, do it. Give up the future assets to shoot your shot now while that window's open. I just don't believe the window's open. And I think many of you don't believe the window's open either. The question is, does Mickey Loomis and the Saints organization feel that window is open? Because if they do, then they're looking at Brandon Aiyuk saying, could we get Brandon Aiyuk, pair him with Chris Olave, and give Derek Carr those two weapons? Then what does our offense do? And if our draft picks on offensive line hit, if Derek Carr's better, if Kamara's healthy, you can convince yourself why it could work. But you pull back to the 10,000-foot view, and I think all of a sudden you look and you go, yeah, this team isn't actually close. So no, my opinion is the Saints should not in any way consider doing a deal for Brandon Aiyuk. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. GetGordon.com. GetGordon.com. You can always go to GordonGives.com as well. Tell you all the time about that. Gordon Gives is the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know, Gordon, over the past 3 decades, has helped some 10,000 Louisiana residents recovering more than $2 billion in damages for their clients. And one of the things that Gordon has done is give back to the communities that have given so much to him, as he always says. You can go to the website. You can hit the community tab. You can see all the athletic sponsorships that they've done through NIL. And you can go to GordonGives.com and see all the different ways that they give back to the communities they serve. From the bike giveaway around Christmas time, the laptop giveaways during graduation season, the Wear Pink initiatives around October and breast cancer awareness. Just another way that Gordon and his team give back to the communities they serve. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always.
When you pass that, sis looking right in those jeans. You're moving it fast, shaped like an hourglass. Conversation heavy, loud and clear.
After further review powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
That's the new Big Fave joint?
That's the new Big Fave joint. Big Fave and Cupid, my love, right here.
So he said my love, not lover.
Well, the album is Lover. This song is My Love.
Okay. Big Fave. You know what, Muse? I was trying to see if I heard a Cupid Shuffle in there.
Like a sample?
Like if he sampled Cupid Shuffle. Listen to Big Fave go. Our guy.
So good.
You know what? Just keep that rolling for Tigers in the pros.
All right.
Keep that rolling for Tigers
we'll
in the pros.
Keep this rolling for Tigers in the pros.
You don't have the open?
Well, it's going to
drown it out.
Yeah, it's got the bed under it. That's why I was like, all right.
All right.
So, wait. Well, I don't know which one we do that.
No.
All right.
Yeah. All right, play the
Tigers
open,
in the pros.
and then go back.
They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
There's really no other place to start than what happened.
I know where we're starting. I got to get a video. I know you ain't going to have it.
I sent it to you.
You didn't send me nothing.
Liar, check your email.
You ain't send me nothing.
Mug? That's a lie.
Man, have you seen the...
I sent you two things, actually.
Have you seen the video that the Rangers did? Oh, wait, go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah, so... Late in the game, as in, bottom of the 10th inning last night, Astros, Rangers down 3-2. Josh Smith steps up to the plate and absolutely unloads. 2-run, walk-off homer. One of the smoothest pimp jobs you will ever see on a walk-off homer. First of all, lefties just have a great swing, but he hits that rock, hits the rock on the swing, comes out of the rock immediately into the bat flip. Just an incredible moment. Said after the game, his first ever walk-off home run for Josh Smith, which I found surprising. Not even Little League, like nowhere.
Never.
Josh Smith has hit a walk-off homer.
How about that?
How about your first one coming in the bigs against a division rival?
He had a big homer, didn't he, against Ole Miss at LSU?
Yes.
It was a home, so they ended up losing the game.
They lost the game.
Too. But it was like 2 3-run homers in the ninth.
Yep.
They sent it to extras and they lost.
But yeah, he did. He had a huge one there. But I mean, dude, that pimp job. God, the pimp job was so good. Alex Bregman in that game. Nope. Bregman, though, also going yard to break the scoreless tie early in the third inning. Solo shot for Bregman, his only hit on the night. Jake Fraley, big night for him with the Cincinnati Reds. 2 for 5, a double, 2 RBI and a run scored. Just a really solid night at the bottom of the lineup. Aaron Nola.
Look at us go.
How about
Muse.
it? Well,
what else
Bregman
you got for me? You got some
Bregman
Clyde
actually
Road
didn't
news
get
today.
no Clyde Road news. Nola pitched well, especially against the Dodgers. Only 4 runs in 6 innings. Unfortunately, the Phillies only scored 3 for him, and he got hit with a hard luck loss. You've probably heard by now, Jaden Daniels. He's going to get the start for the Commanders.
Oh, Muse. How could you let that happen?
Because I'm not used to doing that for Tigers in the pros. That's how. Jaden Daniels is going to get the start for the Commanders in their preseason game. We'll see how long he plays, but it's great that he is getting the start. And then in some disappointing news, B.J. Ojulari, you might have seen that his season ended. He did tear his ACL over the weekend, but the Cardinals made that official today, putting him on IR. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore. Y'all go to evermore.com, evermore.com, EVAMOR, evermore.com, or find it at great local retailers everywhere. Natural artesian water, a healthier option. If it's a rare alkaline source, pH of 8.8 to 9.1, fresh, smooth taste, it's perfected by Mother Nature. It's Evermore. Join the revolution, y'all. Ditch the old crinkly plastic water bottles from Texas. Drink a Louisiana product, natural from Mother Earth. It's Evermore, evermore.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Brian Kelly, recapping Day 5. That's next, AFR.
AFR.
Man, I am so excited. I can't spill the beans yet, but I think I'm going to have some great news to share tomorrow or at some point this week about our friends over at Shawbills, because it's just further validation of what I've told you for years now. Shawbills, since they opened their doors back in 1958, Mr. Charlie's goal, 1968, Mr. Charlie's goal was always to treat you like family, because they're a family-owned and operated company. When you come in, you feel like family. It's not just about selling tires and changing your oil and all that stuff. It's about making you feel comfortable. At Shawbills, they have a customer bill of rights. Go to the website. You can see it. It's all the things that you as a customer at Shawbills are entitled to, all the way down to the right to be treated fairly, the right to not be upsold, the right to have a clean place to wait. So they take tremendous pride in making sure it's clean and smells great and has a clean kitchenette and coffee area and clean bathrooms and free Wi-Fi and flat screen TV so you're comfortable when you wait. That's why they're the best. It's Shawbills. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. With a dominant performance in the quarterfinals at the Paris Olympics, the U.S. men's basketball team one step closer to another gold medal. Team USA routed Brazil 122-87, 11 points for Kevin Durant. He became the career leader in points scored for the U.S. at the Summer Games. The Americans face Serbia in the semis. U.S. women's soccer team defeated Germany 1-0 and will take on Brazil in the gold medal match. American Cole Hocker won gold in the men's 1,500 meters. With the 49ers willing to listen to trade offers for Brandon Aiyuk, the Patriots and Browns have contacted them about a deal for the star receiver, and the Steelers today re-engaged San Francisco on trade talks. Our Harry Douglas.
You need explosive plays. You need guys that are home run hitters in this league because defenses are that good. So you get a chance to bring Brandon Aiyuk over. If you're Pittsburgh, you jump at those chances.
For any trade to happen, Aiyuk has to agree to a contract with another team, and San Francisco has to be comfortable with trade compensation. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey dealing with a calf strain, unlikely to play this preseason.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And a Mr. Toby Template. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Garrett Podell will be here in about 15 minutes. He's with CBS Sports. He took a look at the NFC South, put him in tears, and I should say the NFC, put him in tears, and we'll get his take on the Saints and the NFC South. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes. Good opportunity to do that with the Saints having an off day today. Ross will be back with us tomorrow for his regular spot, giving us the Saints camp report as they eye their first preseason game Saturday against Arizona. LSU is back on the practice field on Tuesday, day 5. Brian Kelly met with reporters afterwards. And one of the things that has struck me so far watching LSU offensively has been the receivers. And I know they lost Neighbors and Thomas, and so that was a big conversation. But my contention has been LSU has always had and will always have guys that are tall, that can run fast and jump high and catch the ball, and they're always going to be really good because LSU has always recruited the receiver position really well because this state produces great athletes. Just look through the list of Jarvis and Odell and Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors and all the way back to Josh Reed and Michael Clayton, and just go through the list. I mean, it's an endless list of amazing, talented receivers from this state because this state produces them, and Kyron Lacey's the next one. And Chris Hilton's there as well. And you brought in C.J. Daniels, who was a 1,000-yard receiver, and you brought in Xavion Thomas, who led Mississippi State in receiving, oh, by the way, from Louisiana. And then so far through this early part of practice, 5 practices, of which the media has seen 4, what has stood out so much to me is how many guys they're getting involved in the passing game. The very first day, the very first 7-on-7 drill we saw, Shelton Sampson had 2 giant catches. Yesterday, in the 11-on-11 team period, Kyle Parker, back-to-back plays in that 2-minute drill. They threw with the ones, Kyle Parker making catches. Trades Green, Kamorian Pimpton has made plays with the ones as well. So it's the guys we talk about. The last 2 days, Chris Hilton has been unconscious. Literally the first play we saw today, now I'm not saying it was the first play of the day, it's the first play we saw as we walk in. Chris Hilton on a slant, over the top, Nuss throws a strike, Hilton takes it to the house. There is no shortage of incredible talent, but what's interesting is how many different guys are getting reps with the first team. It's not just Lacey, Hilton, Daniels, who it's pretty obvious are the first 3, but so many of those guys are getting reps. So I asked Brian Kelly why. Why are so many different guys taking reps with the ones? Here's what he said.
There's so many other players that will play roles in some fashion. And I think what we feel like is that if you've got 3 guys that you feel really confident in, let's get all those guys, work with that first group and get some continuity with the quarterback. So if Nuss is out there and, Aaron's out there, or, we have a rotation that has, 2 or 3 tight ends, he feels comfortable with all those receivers. So it's not just the second group that's getting that work. So we felt like it was important to get all those guys work with the first group, because I want Nuss to see all those guys, because he's probably going to throw to all of them at some time.
I mean, you started mentioning Aaron Anderson. It's a guy that I forgot to even mention. There's so many of them that continue to make big play after big play. And then it was also interesting because one of the guys we've obviously talked about a bunch is Trades Green, and then also Kamorian Pimpton, who the last 2 days has had really big days. And here was Brian Kelly talking about those 2 young tight ends.
Both of them have made really good progress. I think KP Pimpton has been really good as well the last 2 practices in particular. His consistency in run blocking, his consistency in catching the football assignments have been really good. And then I thought, by and large, Trades has assimilated as a true freshman as well as we could have expected. Again, considering somebody that hasn't played a lot of football either, really pleased. They're both going to play for us, and they're both going to have a role. I can imagine this one being such that, you could potentially see all those guys, including Mason, on the field together.
That would be fascinating, by the way, if you saw 3 tight ends, which, by the way, isn't crazy. I mean, Mason Taylor is awesome. And both Kamorian Pimpton and Trades Green can play a flex tight end receiver spot. You can do it. And I'm just thinking what that looks like around the goal line. I mean, I don't know how you cover 2 guys that are 6'6" and 6'7" with that type of wingspan and leaping ability. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But the point is, the best way I can say this, and I'm going to continue to say it this way, I know who the top guys are, and it's very clear. Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton, CJ Daniels are your most veteran, most polished, most physical. You go out there and you go, okay, I get it. But you continue to see all these other guys make plays. And so you ask yourself, how do you justify keeping them on the sideline? You've got to get all of these guys reps at different points. And so I think that's the real challenge for Joe Sloan and for this offensive staff, is to find ways to give them roles. I'm going to say this is the way I'm saying it. I'm not telling you Kamorian Pimpton or Trades Green are going to go out there and have 50 catches this year, or Shelton Sampson or Kyle Parker. I'm not. The reps aren't there. The targets aren't there, because you're going to feed Lacey and Hilton and Daniels. Those are going to be, and Mason Taylor. Those are going to be your guys.
Mason Taylor!
But I also don't know how you're going to go a full season without having some kind of role for Kamorian Pimpton and Trades Green and Shelton Sampson and Aaron Anderson and Xavion Thomas because they're too good. They're too good and they're too versatile. So that really is going to be the challenge. Almost a 180 from a year ago where Jaden Daniels was so awesome running the ball that it almost just became a crutch. Like, okay, just let 5 do what 5 does because he's awesome. And this year, it's not just one guy. It's a whole bunch of guys. Last year, it was Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. Like, those 3 dudes, just go score 50 a game. And they did all the time. This year, there's just so much talent there. And Joe Sloan's got to figure out a way to use all of that talent and integrate it to make sure that you're versatile in that respect. And it was interesting because Kyron Lacey on Monday met with reporters, and they asked him, like, point blank, if he felt like the number one receiver amid so much talent.
I feel like it's a collection of guys. Every day we compete. Everybody's competing in that room. Everybody, like from freshmen to seniors to sophomores, it doesn't matter. We all competing, and we want to dominate every rep we get out there. So we take advantage of every rep we can.
It feels that way. I mean, sometimes you hear like coaches speak through players. Sometimes you hear something that sounds and feels like cliches. Like, that's not a cliche. Play that again. It's 16 seconds, but listen to it again.
I feel like it's a collection of guys. Every day we compete. Everybody's competing in that room. Everybody, like from freshmen to seniors to sophomores, it doesn't matter. We all competing, and we want to dominate every rep we get out there. So we take advantage of every rep we can.
They are doing that. Like, I'll tell you, today, there were Ricky Collins on Tuesday got 2 reps with the first team. So they were in the 11-on-11 period, and Nuss ran his reps, and then Collins went in and got 2 reps with the ones and then stayed in. I'll tell you exactly how many. So Collins went in, got 2 reps with the ones, and then ran 3 reps with the 2. So we got 5 reps, but 2 with the ones, 3 with the 2s. The first rep, when the 2s came in, deep right to Kyle Parker. Kyle Parker dusted Jair Brown. Like, beautiful route, flat outran him. And Ricky Collins put it on him. I mean, a beautiful pass. 30, 40 yards downfield. I mean, a beautiful pass. And Kyle Parker dropped it. And so you look at that and you go, Kyle Parker had a great day yesterday. Had 2 big catches in that 2-minute drill period that they did. But then you followed up with a drop right there and you go, man, you better be consistent because there is so much talent at that receiver spot. Everybody vying for reps and targets. And it will be fascinating to see how that all plays out once you do get the fall, to see how Joe Sloan works all these different guys into the offense. By the way, Joe Sloan on Wednesday meeting with reporters after practice. That's going to be my question to him. Like, there's so many mouths to feed. Like, how do you keep everybody fed? I don't even know that it's possible, but I'll ask him. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Let's knock out a quick break. Come back. Garrett Podell covers the NFL for CBS Sports. He's with us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about River City's 1-hour air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 101, 101, 100, 101, heat index, record temps, day after day after day. And you know what that means. It means your Home Central AC is working overtime to keep your home cool, to keep your family comfortable. If you have an issue with your AC, call River City's 1-hour air. Big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. Today I was getting on the interstate at Highland Road. There went a River City's 1-hour air van passing me right down I-10. No doubt on the way to the next service call. I'm telling you, if you have an issue with your AC, they're just the best. When you call the number, you're going to talk to a human. They're going to get you scheduled. When someone comes out, they're going to be on time or you don't pay a dime. You're going to get a call, a text, and an email alerting you the technician's on the way with a name, picture, and reviews of that technician so you're comfortable with who's coming to your house. It's River City's 1-hour air.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Garrett Podell is an NFL staff writer over at CBSSports.com, and with the NFL preseason now upon us, he's got a ranking of contenders for the NFC by tiers, and naturally we're going to focus on not only the Saints but the NFC South, but wanted to welcome Garrett onto the show. Garrett, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. Definitely looking forward to this chat. I know these types of rankings and lists generate fun, passionate conversation, and looking forward to diving into it with you.
Why do you hate the Saints?
Why do I hate the Saints? Listen, I don't hate the Saints, okay? I think the Saints are definitely, so in the tiers, I've kind of got them sitting in that wild card zone because, last year they had a top 10 scoring defense. A lot of situational, metrics, third down, red zone, a lot of those. They were really, really good, but they struggled to get after the passer. They were bottom 5 in sacks, and I know sacks aren't the only metric of pass rush, but their quarterback pressure percentage wasn't much better. Cam Jordan, one of their anchors, and to my estimation, I think he's got a good Hall of Fame case. He had only 2 sacks and one of the worst years of his career since he was a rookie, probably the second worst season of his entire career. So you just wonder, can this defense affect the opposing quarterback when they really need to, when it's crunch time? And then Derek Carr on the other side, he finished the season really well, right? 14 touchdowns and 2 picks in the last 5 games. New Orleans won 4 of the last 5 games. But their schedule was really soft at the end. They played the Panthers, they played the Giants. It was kind of, I don't know, it kind of felt like smoke and mirrors in comparison to the rest of the season. And so I kind of want to see, can Derek Carr put it together in New Orleans for a sustained amount of time beyond just the short 5-game sample size against a soft back-end schedule.
By the way, Garrett, I love the New Orleans Saints, but I hate the Saints team. So I'm just joking with you. Like I'm in total agreement. The odd part, though, is in Tier 3, you have 2 teams as the happy to be here division winners, and you list Tampa Bay and Atlanta. I'm curious because we've heard some prognosticators that are quite bullish on Atlanta with Kirk Cousins now. So Atlanta as a division winner, I could buy that. Atlanta as a contender, are you buying that at all?
No, that's why I basically created that tier, the happy to be here division winners, as kind of a caveat to say, look, these are 2 teams who are kind of favorites, or in my mind, kind of co-favorites, because Tampa Bay's won the division the last 2 years. Baker Mayfield played like a top 10 quarterback statistically in terms of passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage last year. And they kept together a lot of their core, and I like kind of what they brought back in Tampa. So I had them there along with the Falcons. And you mentioned, if you look at a lot of sports books right now, if you're into that kind of thing, Atlanta's the betting favorite. But I don't know that either of these teams is going to do anything serious. And I don't see either team, whoever wins the NFC South, they might win a playoff game. I do not see them winning a divisional round playoff game. And as I mentioned in the article, the last NFC South division winner to win the entire NFC was 8 years ago, and that was the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, the Buccaneers did win the Super Bowl in 2020, but that was with a wild card team. So if we're talking about the division winner of the NFC South, hasn't really done much lately in the postseason. And just you kind of look at these teams, and they're all kind of topsy-turvy, kind of all around the same level. But Atlanta, I love what they have on offense. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts is supposed to break out any second now, supposedly. Well, now they have, an offensive coordinator in Zach Robinson coming over from the Rams, who was in a system where they fed their stars the ball, whether it's Puka, whether it's Cooper Kupp, whether it's Todd Gurley. The Rams spam the ball to their best players. So you think, okay, maybe some of those guys didn't get as many touches with Arthur Smith calling the plays, going to get more involved. But I don't really know what they have on defense. Their defensive depth chart is probably one of the weaker ones in the league. So that's kind of why I kept them and Tampa, in that they could win the division, but I don't really see them doing much come playoff time.
Garrett Podell's with us, CBSSports.com, NFL staff writer. He's got a tiers list ranking up of contenders in the NFC. I guess out of obligation, I'll ask you your thoughts on the Carolina Panthers, who you've got right there at the caboose.
Now I'm just gonna.
What is that? An alarm?
So I'm in my hotel right now, a little behind the scenes here. So I cover the Dallas Cowboys a lot. I'm in Oxnard, California. I'm at a Dallas Cowboys training camp, and I'm coming to you from my hotel, and literally the fire alarm is going off.
Hey, don't they know we're trying to do live radio here?
Oh, no, we're doing live radio. We're doing this. So I'm stepping outside in the back. 1 second. Okay, so you asked me about the Carolina Panthers. Can you specifically repeat the question? I'm keeping my eye on the ball here. I know it was about the Panthers. Was it anything specific or just my general thought?
Garrett, I really respect tremendously your willingness to power through this.
Absolutely. That's the game.
However, that is so obnoxious. I'm hearing about every other word you're saying.
Okay, hold on. 1 second, man.
We are absolutely, by the way, yes.
Okay.
It is better. Good. We are absolutely clipping this and putting this on all of our social media channels, by the way.
Please do. This is how you know I'm boots on the ground with the NFL, man. I'm here out in Oxnard, California, covering the Cowboys this week, and evidence from the Oxnard Hotel.
Or you could be at a Motel 6 for all we know, and some jackass just pulled the fire alarm. All right.
Hey, it's a respectable Courtyard Marriott.
No, for sure. That's so good. I'm a Marriott member. Hey, all right, so Panthers,
yes.
They're bringing up the caboose there. Any reason to believe they're any better?
I do. I think, they only won 2 games last year, and Bryce Young had one of the worst rookie seasons for any QB in recent memory, especially for a number 1 pick. His pass yards per 10, 7.5, 4th lowest ever for a rookie, dead last in the league in passer rating. but it wasn't all his fault. He was under pressure. And I liked what they did. They signed Robert Hunt in free agency to fill in at one of the guard spots to a $100 million deal. They signed Damian Lewis, a vet starter from the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then I really liked what they did, adding Deontay Johnson, a guy who rolls out of bed and gets you about 60, 70 catches, 600, 700 receiving yards. Easy. And he's someone who I've seen that Dave Canales, the head coach of the Panthers, has raved about and said we're looking to get him the football. So adding him along with Xavier Legette out of South Carolina, their first-round pick, and then going Jonathan Brooks, taking the first running back in the draft, a running back who Jerry Jones said to my face was the best running back in the 2024 draft, and someone who gave him one of the best pre-draft meetings he's ever had with a prospect. And so they brought him in. They got another UT guy, Jatavian Sanders at tight end, third, fourth round. So I kind of like what they did, investing in offensive skill players, investing in Bryce Young. And if you look at Canales, he was the Buccaneers OC. Baker Mayfield has his resurgence and gets a big contract. 2 years ago, he was the Seattle Seahawks QB coach when Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year for no longer being mediocre. So Dave Canales, who knows, with that coach and that support staff, support in his ecosystem on offense, it could be a lot better. But I still don't think they're going to do anything. But, they could go from winning 2 games to maybe 6, 7. Who knows?
All right, Garrett, give us the play-by-play. You're on the move. Where are we now? Is the alarm off, or did you just relocate?
The alarm's off. So
okay.
I've relocated from back inside. So now we are chilling in the peace and quiet indoors once again.
Oh, so so the alarm was going off. So you went outside, like you were doing the fire drill.
Yes. I was inside. Alarm went off. Fire drill time. So I'm holding my laptop, AirPods in, talking to you. And then I step outside. You say, you know what? It's too loud. I say, fine. I'm a step a few, maybe 10 yards further. You said it was good. Continue from there. Alarm goes off. Now we're back in the shade.
Okay. I mean, this is one of the more incredible certainly one of the more incredible first conversations I've ever had with anybody on air. I've been doing this a long time, Garrett. I mean, we are embarking on new territory, which is this is one I will remember for a long time. A lot of people would have just punted. And by the way, good for you for actually abiding by fire alarm going off, exiting. Because a lot of people, I think, hear a fire alarm, like, would somebody just turn off the damn alarm? You know what I mean? Like, they don't actually think, oh, there could be a fire,
Look, you never know. I'm in Southern California. You see stuff on the news, California wildfires. It's a beautiful sunny day out here just north of Los Angeles and Oxnard. But listen, I'm a team player. And I came here to talk about NFC contention tiers.
I love it.
And we are going to do that. And
I love it.
You said this is a very, very memorable first conversation. I hope we can have more conversations and we can keep talking.
I love
or you
it.
can let me go. I can stay on. And we can just keep talking.
I got one more for you, Garrett. Garrett Podell. He's on Twitter at Garrett Podell, Podell, if you want to give him a follow. I want to ask you about the 2 rookies in Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, both of whom you have in the same tier with the Saints. So I don't know if I should be excited for a guy like Jaden Daniels to be not in the complete cellar, or more disappointed that the Saints are viewed in the same way as 2 rookie quarterbacks.
I totally understand your conflicted feelings there, Matt. And that just kind of more has to do with Washington. They did a complete overhaul of their roster, right? They hired GM Adam Peters over from the San Francisco 49ers, hired over Dan Quinn, someone I got to know out here in Dallas the last few years at the Cowboys DC to be the head coach, new regime, and they had cap space, and they spent it. I mean, they got Austin Eckler, a fantasy football darling at running back. He's a great guy who Jaden Daniels can check passes down to. Zach Ertz, he's older now, but a reliable tight end, and he scooped over a number of Cowboys from Pro Bowl center Tyler Biadasz to a couple D linemen, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Bobby Wagner, one of his old guys from the Legion of Boom days. I mean, they just went to work on this roster. And to me, the 6-7 seed in the NFC, I mean, the 7 seed last year was the Packers at 9-8. So, I mean, if you're a game over 500 or in that 500 realm, you're in competition to be a wild card team. And I think the New York Giants are going to be very, very brutally bad because I don't believe in Daniel Jones at all. So I think Washington's going to be in a position where just on the virtue of their schedule, their record will be around 500 as the end of the season comes near. So that's kind of just more of like Washington's a contention by almost like for a wild card spot. Let me be very clear, wild card spot by like default. The Bears, I think could legitimately be like a solid wild card team because Caleb Williams is walking into a situation where he's the only top 5 draft pick quarterback ever to walk into a situation where he has 2 wide receivers and DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, who are both coming off seasons in which they each had over 1,200 receiving yards. He's coming in with an awesome supporting cast. They signed DeAndre Swift. They draft Rome Odunze, who was the college football receiving yards leader this past season. I mean, he's walking into riches offensively in Chicago. So, and Chicago's defense down the stretch after they traded for Montez Sweat was the number 1 scoring defense in football the last like 6-7 games of the year. So I really do like Chicago's wild card spot a lot. Washington, Jane Daniels, that's more to do with contention by default for a wild card spot there.
All right. Garrett Podell, appreciate it, man. Stay safe. Watch out for those fires. Dodge those fire alarms. Enjoy Oxnard, man. We appreciate a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. We'll be happy to join anytime, fire alarm or not.
Thanks, man. Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Y'all go check them out, southpointvw.com. New school year, maybe time for a new car. Send the kiddo off to high school, maybe junior, senior year. It's time to get that first car. How about getting on by South Point Volkswagen, taking advantage of a great deal on a 2024 Jetta over at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. All the style, the feel, the performance of luxury, which I talk about all the time. But again, most importantly, you get the great German engineering without the cost, and it's manufactured right here in the good old US of A, their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant, so you're supporting American jobs. It's South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? I don't really disagree with anything you said. I think the Saints are a fringe team. I'm maybe more surprised at how many people are high on the Bears. I understand everything about Caleb Williams, what they brought in free agency with Keenan Allen, drafting Rome Odunze. Yes, I understand all of the weapons they have there. I also realize that Matt Eberflus is a coach that's very much on the hot seat, and I don't think the Bears are going to be great. I could be dead wrong. That could be my big swing and miss this year is Chicago. I am just not as high on the Bears as a lot of people seem to be. But start to get those answers soon enough. All right, you can always join the show. Email us, tweet us, text us. Text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Hey, I know we've had trouble today with our radio affiliates in Lafayette, Lake Charles, New Orleans. My apologies for that. It's completely on our end. We had a network issue in our building today, knocked internet out for a long time. It's really kind of wreaked havoc on half of our day. And so that affected our ability to transmit our show to our affiliates. So sincerely apologize for that. But it's a great reminder that if you can't get us on terrestrial radio, you can always stream us on YouTube. So thanks to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Or you can stream us live at 1045ESPN.com or on the 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge app. So we appreciate you for being there. However you can be there. Of course, we always appreciate our awesome affiliates for helping grow the show across the entire state, man. So we're going to iron out those issues and hopefully be back to full speed ahead mañana. Speaking of mañana, of course, LSU's back on the practice field tomorrow morning. We'll be there. Joe Sloan meets with reporters afterwards. Saints are back on the practice field out in Irvine. Ross Jackson will be there. He'll join us on the show in hour number 3. So a full, jam-packed day of football tomorrow. It's football season, man. It's awesome. We're fired up to be here. Okay, well, now I got a quick break. Continue more from what Brian Kelly had to say after practice next. AFR.
AFR.
Man, when it's 101 degrees outside, I can't even imagine sitting outside without having the option of jumping in my pool. The house Eric and I own now has a pool. It's the first house I've ever owned with a pool, and I can't imagine ever owning a house without one again. And you could do the same if you call Duplessis Builders. Call Derek Duplessis over at Duplessis Builders and design your backyard paradise. Listen, you can go look at all the pictures of the work they do. It's gorgeous. Custom pool builders that it looks resort style. It's amazing the quality of work they do. There's a lot of great pool builders that build beautiful pools, but will they last? And that's where Duplessis Builders differentiates themselves. because Derek Duplessis won't cut corners. That's not lip service. I'm telling you, expect a 2-month process because that's how long it takes to build a quality pool. And that's why Duplessis offers a 10-year workmanship guarantee. It's DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Well, she ain't into cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor, she thinks my tractor.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Rev delivers our coverage live from Las Vegas starting Friday, August 30th with Off the Bench, and After Further Review, and continuing Sunday, September 1st with Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Our coverage is also presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Watch us live, the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Kick off the 2024 LSU football season live from Las Vegas with Rev 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Not the first time we've ever had a distracting sound on an interview. The most notable I remember was John Battle. Remember John Battle, the safety at LSU?
I do.
John Battle was doing an interview with us one time, and I kept hearing a chirp periodically. And at some point in the interview, I said, John, is that your smoke alarm?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, oh, yeah. I was like, how long has that been going on? He's like, oh, that's been like that for months. And it started this whole conversation on the show because for me, as soon as I hear the chirp, it's like, find it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's got to go, right?
And it was stunning to me because after that, and I say this often, and it's just enough life experience will tell you, but none of us is an island. Like, if none of us lives in a vacuum. If one person thinks or feels or does something, there are other people who do as well. But I was stunned to find out that there were many people who were like, oh, yeah, man, my smoke alarm thing chirps. It's been chirping forever. I just ignore it. Like, I can't.
No, I'm with you. I don't. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Paulie, were you here of that when John Battle came on?
I was. I do remember that.
What was your take on the chirping?
I'm with you. I hear it one time. I'm changing the batteries.
Yeah. Where's the ladder? Which room is it in? Give me the battery. We're changing that thing. If not, it's almost like the Office Space movie where they take the bat to the printer out, or the copy machine. They just beat the hell out of it. That's what I would do with a smoke alarm. Anyway, but that was something else.
I don't think that was our first fire alarm either, though. You remember when we had the lead single for Vertical Horizon on? He was at a hotel, and I'm pretty sure a fire alarm went off in that interview.
That sounds familiar. That's a good pull, too.
I think that happened.
Oh, you got to find it now.
I know. Gosh, when was? I don't even remember what they were in town for. Was that?
Well, that was Jacques' Red
Rock and Blue.
For sure. So over the years when Jacques Doucet has done Red Rock and Blue, we've always been good partners and helped promote Red Rock and Blue. And so Vertical Horizon was one year.
I'm pretty sure that dude's smoke alarm went off, or his fire alarm went off.
Well, find it. Stop talking to me. Find it. What are you doing? That's why I was filling. I was starting to talk so you would go find it. No, not Sublime. Everclear. We had the lead singer of Everclear on one year. That was intense. He talked about he talked to us on air about his suicide attempts. Anyway, but yeah, so if you missed it, Garrett Podell from CBS Sports was with us. He's in Oxnard with the Cowboys, but he's an NFL writer for CBS. So we're talking about one of the pieces he had today, and the fire alarm at the hotel was going off. I don't know, man. If I were doing that interview, I probably would have stopped. Like if I were him, I'd have said like, hey, there's a fire alarm going off. I'll power through this, but if this sounds bad, you just tell me and we could like try again another time. But he just head down like a bull through a wall. Just wasn't even fazed by it. That was interesting though. Thanks, Dan. I don't even know, what were we talking about? We were going to talk about something.
Oh, Brian Kelly audio from today as well. Yeah, that we're gonna.
No, yeah, I wanted to talk about the special teams thing, but why did I say anything?
Oh, John Battle and his smoke alarm chirp.
Yeah, I don't know why. Whatever. I was gonna do something about special teams because Brian Kelly did talk about the special teams today, and Joe Sloan meets with reporters tomorrow, so I'll be interested in that. Did you find it?
I cannot.
What's his name? Start there. Like that's your error. You start with the guy's name. I don't remember his name, and then search the shared drive for that name, and that'll be our.
Well, it's not that easy because when we do this, we're not posting like Matt. Hold on. Yeah, Matt Scannell is his name.
Yes. Okay. Now go search.
It's not going to show up in the shared, is what I'm telling you.
Why?
Because we didn't post this as an individual interview. Therefore, I don't have it clipped as an individual interview. I have to find the show. That's the thing. It was in August. It was in August of 2023. I've located that.
How did you locate that?
I looked up when they were at Red Rock and Blue.
Just search his name in the shared drive.
Okay, but I'm telling you, it's not going to show up.
Okay, Muse.
I know how I saved it.
August of 2023. Matt Scannell. Or search Google it, and then the Google link will come up. There's a lot of ways to do it. All right, it's after further review.
Scone's got the best Google.
Scone gives the best Google. Condon said that forever. Scone gives the best. I'm telling you, if I was in your chair, and this isn't a knock on you, I would have found that 5 minutes ago. Like, I'm uncomfortably good at finding things, Googling on the or whatever. I can do it very quickly. Anyway, all right, it's after further review. Today is Kibi's last day with us. Kibi is our intern from Southeastern. She's a volleyball player at Southeastern. Been hanging out with us this summer, hopefully learning a lot. But today is her last day. So I wanted to say thank you for all the time. Can someone slide her a microphone, please? I don't care which one. There you go. All right, Kibi, what have you learned the most from being here on AFR for a few months?
Well, I've learned a lot. Honestly, what I want to do in my career, I want to be more on camera. But I remember the first time we talked, you told me it's nothing wrong with learning like getting a little taste of everything behind the camera, on the camera, producing. So honestly, I've learned like behind the camera, behind all these computers, it's more interesting than I thought it was.
Yep. Well, one thing that's very important is to make yourself as indispensable as possible. So do as many things well as you can possibly do, and you make yourself even more valuable to that company, whomever you may work for at some point. Because even now with digital media, at some point, like even if you're a content creator, you may be doing a lot of that stuff yourself. So learning all that. So Paula, you touched all the buttons, huh?
Yeah, touched everything.
Did she screw anything? What was her biggest mess up?
Yeah, I mean, it was just...
Paul's incapable of saying something unkind.
The early stages, like just having to think through it a lot. So just a little quicker on the trigger there.
Yeah. Paul, how many buttons do you have over there? How many screens do you have?
I have 4 screens. No, 5 screens. 4 screens.
4 screens, and how many buttons?
A couple hundred.
Yeah, lots of buttons. I don't know if you can zoom in on that. It's okay if not. But there's a lot going on over there. But Kiwi did a great job. So what year are you going to be at Southeastern?
I'm going into my senior year.
Okay. So 2 more semesters?
Yep.
We're going to graduate in journalism or in mass comm?
Journalism, but I do have an extra year of eligibility for volleyball, so I don't know if I'm going to take it yet.
Let's go.
I'm still thinking about it.
Got to get that NIL, you know what I mean? Go work on that master's degree.
Yeah.
Maybe a little transfer portal. I shouldn't say that at Southeastern, right? That transfer portal, that's what happens, right? You go to Southeastern for 3-4 years, and then you transfer portal up, right?
Yep.
She's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Are you going to do that?
If this year goes as planned, that it could be a possibility.
Okay.
I don't know
yet. About it. You can go to Harvard like Gabby
Thomas.
Gabby Thomas. Go to Harvard, get a degree from Harvard, play some volleyball up there.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
They have a nice program.
And then you come back and be all of our boss.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that's what we'll do.
That sounds nice.
Kiwi, thank you for everything, for all the hard work. We appreciate having you around, and we wish you well. You know, you'll be around. You'll be around.
I'm coming back.
I know you'll be back. She'll be around. All right, it's After Further Review. Tuesday shows are brought to you by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll get to Otter Locks. Muse, any luck?
Not yet.
Okay. How about this? What if I could find the exact day and time that Matt Scannell was on this show?
Yeah, then it's easy.
In the break.
Then it's easy.
What?
Yeah, like then I can get it easy for you. That's what I'm trying to determine is with the day he was on the show.
I'm going to get it. It's AFR.
AFR.
Kiwi, you want Muse's job? Just got look at. Yeah, sit down, Muse. Sit down. We're brought to you by Glow Resources. If you need to find a new producer, Glow Resources. How about that transition? That could have been any better. Muse is great, everybody. Muse is great. GlowResources.com, GLO, GlowResources.com. They're complete employer solutions. If you're looking to hire and you have that tough to find employee, that tough to find job, and you keep just going through the rat race, you can't find the right employee, Glow Resources can help. Yes, they are experts in finding skilled blue-collar labor, but they also have a professional placement division. So basically, any type of office job in any industry, they can help you there as well. It's Glow Resources. And yes, their corporate headquarters right here in Baton Rouge, but they have offices all over the country, and they help place employees not only all over the country, but all over the world. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
How long did it take me to find when we had Matt Scannell on the show? Date, hour, and time.
Like 10 seconds. And I'd still like to know how you did it. Because Moscona's got the best Google.
It was literally less than a minute.
But I might have been misremembering.
As Condon always says, Moscona gives the best Google. Moscona gives the best Google. So you're not hearing the alarm in the Mets?
I'm not.
Muse, I'm like, I remember that. Like, I think you nailed it. I really do. So you're scanning the interview?
I'm sorry, I was still listening to it.
You're scanning the interview?
Yeah.
Okay, you get to that. Let's get to Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the incomprehensible, the Outfather himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Bonjour, oui, oui.
All right. Wait. Did hey, hang on. Did we? All right. Let's see. We won with France.
Yeah.
But we lost the baseball game last night with the Red Sox.
Royals. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost the Royals. Okay, but we hit with France. Plus the 8. That was awesome. So France won the game. They beat Canada. Canada ain't never whipped nobody, Otter. Anyway. All right, what are we looking at tonight?
All right. Going back to the Royals. Seth Lugo, the pride of Centenary, the gent.
Okay.
23 starts this year. 21 of his 23 starts have been quality starts. So figures to be a good one here. The big pitching advantage, to say the least. They lose last night. It was kind of messed up a little bit. That wasn't a long road trip, but it was a long enough road trip. But anyway, minus 125 at DraftKings is a mild price to lay there, going with Kansas City and Lugo.
All right. Kansas City on the money line, minus 125. What else are we looking at?
Baltimore Orioles lost the first 2 in Cleveland, came back and scored 7 and then 9 to win against, at that time, the baseball's best record. And so they got the bats going a little bit, and they're going against a struggling pitcher in Toronto and Chris Bassett tonight. Not going to lay that number, but we will lay the run, minus 1.5 on the run line at plus 15. We're looking at?
I'm looking at 105.
105, okay.
Sorry, so Baltimore minus the run line, okay?
And it's Sonny Gray. Did he pitch at Vandy? I believe he did.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have struggled a little bit. Got shut out last night by the Mets. They lost 3 out of 4 in Wrigley to the Cubbies. But that's got to be with the price here because Gray's been really good. He is good, and he's been his normal self this year. I think this is a soft price for him at minus 155 against a guy in Jeffrey Springs. It's got a whip that's close to 2. That ain't good. No, wee. No good.
No, wee. Crazy. All right, so we're taking St. Louis on the money line.
Hey, guess what?
What?
This thing's out of control, the White Sox. White Sox are smooth.
Oh, man.
The 56 games this year. They got a lot. They got a lot of fight in them. Got a lot of comeback in them. 56 games when they've been down after the 6th inning. Well, they're 0 for 56. But they got a chance to take the lead tonight. This guy, Ross Stripling, is minus 225 right now. Wait.
1 minute remaining.
Obviously on the A's. Every sports book manager is crying about the White Sox every night. This might be the night. So just a little late night if we roll in a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit on the White Sox.
I'm not betting my money on the White Sox.
No sprinkle, no tinkle, no wee-wee.
You know what? I'll throw $1 on the White. There you go. You got $1 of my money on the White Sox.
Wait though. It's an 8:40 first pitch. This line is not done going up. Trust me.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll get $2 out of me. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We are at Modesto Mexican Grill.
All right.
Let's text me over at Modesto.
Wee. Thank you, Otter.
Bonjour.
We'll see. All right, that's going to do it for us here. The Olympics need to end in a hurry. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
AFR.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. If you're looking to buy land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Get to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Your first call, your first contact, your first web visit, your first option for buying land in Louisiana is First South Farm Credit. They've been first in land since 1916. If you're into agriculture, you know about First South Farm Credit. Farmers know about First South Farm Credit. But what you may not know is how much of their business is done by helping people buy that recreational property. You want the 100 acres for hunting property. Maybe you want the 20 acres in Covington or St. Francisville or Clinton or wherever it may be to buy that acreage to build your family's dream home. First South Farm Credit has been helping Louisianians buy land since 1916 through world wars and Great Depressions, economic disasters, and weather disasters, and they've made it through it all. It's First South Farm Credit.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have